Jason Berkman from Jason Berkman Photography, and today I have a special video for you. It is about the reason why I got into the Fujifilm system. This is the camera that literally changed my life, the XT-3. This is such an amazing camera. I mean, literally, it's the reason why I got into the Fujifilm system. I came from the Canon system. I had the 80D and I had the 5D Mark II. And when I found this, I was already into mirrorless through Sony. I had an a6000, but it was a really boring camera. This camera really just changed my life. It brought me into that nostalgic feeling of the film cameras that I used to use, my old Pentax K1000, my Asahi Pentax K1000, and my Contax RTS, and it just brought me back into really that feeling of when I got really excited about picking up a camera, and I still get that feeling when I have this camera in my hand. So this was my first foray into Fujifilm, and this is still my workhorse. This is what I use for when I do wedding music video. When I do wedding videos, I use this thing. When I'm doing weddings, I use this. If I'm doing corporate work, headshots, studio work, street work, whatever I'm doing, I'm using this. Any product shots that I do, it's just an amazing little camera. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because it is 2022. Now, this camera is pretty old. I mean, I've had this thing for, I don't know, 4 years, 4 years, something like that. I don't even know. It's been a while, but this has literally just changed my life. I mean, now look at all those Fuji lenses that I have. You know, you just have to. Fuji glass is so amazing. But my brother actually got the XT-4. Why would I tell my brother to get the XT-4? I bought the XS10. Why wouldn't I just get an XT-4? Why wouldn't I get an X Pro 3? Oh, that's right. I didn't have $2,000 for the X Pro 3. Kind of like that camera. Actually, the X Pro 2 is, I don't know. I'm looking into it. The reason why I think that this might be more of a viable option for you when getting into the Fujifilm system, even on a professional level, as opposed to the XT4, is, first of all, if you're doing as much video as I'm doing, then you're probably doing video maybe a third of the time, because most of what I do is photography, but I do video work. So I bought the XS10 so that I had something that I can kick around, do video work or do videos like this with, and I didn't have to worry about a monitor. Other than that, I mean, the XT4 has the flip out screen, so that is just an amazing option that the XT3 doesn't have. But if you're mainly doing photography, and especially if you're doing a lot of portrait work, the flip up screen is amazing. And this is really, you know, the flip up screen here. You know, if you want to do some street work, this is amazing. You can't do this with the XT4 with the flip out screen. It's one thing that I don't like about the XS10 is the flip out screen when I'm trying to do street work. It's small, it's light, it's, you know, it's not in people's way, but when you're trying to get that one shot and you're flipping, you're messing around with this thing, you're flipping it around. It's a pain in the butt. So this thing is really great for street work, it's really great for portrait work and all that stuff. Are you using it for video mostly? If you are, I would say the XT4 is just a great option for you. You're going to be spending a lot more money. But this is the same exact sensor that is in the XT4 and in the XS10 and in the X Pro 3. It's the same sensor, which is great if you want a different camera for whatever is your strengths or whatever the type of work that you like to do, or what camera you just enjoy more. The XT4 and the XT3 are basically the same camera, but you know, you don't have that flip out screen. You have a flip up screen, which is more photography based. Another thing that the XT4 has that the XT3 doesn't have, in-body image stabilization. So it stabilizes, you know, if you were to hold it like this, you could actually do some video work. A lot of people like doing handheld video work. Kind of gives a little bit of a kind of an earthy feel to it, you know, just a little bit shaky, but not too much. You try to use this video. I have done some video and it's actually pretty good, especially with slow motion stuff, but try to do video without a gimbal. You know, I have a gimbal, so I'm using that gimbal with this if I want to do professional video work, or if I'm on a tripod or using a gimbal, I'm good to go. And other than that, I have my XS10, which does have IBIS, and I also have this guy, an XH1, which has IBIS in it as well. So I'm not saying if you're only going to have one camera and you're doing a lot of video, and that's the one camera you're going to be working with, get the XT4, spend the extra money. Otherwise, this thing is going to be a lot less expensive if you got a used XT3 that was in really, really great condition. The other thing is the battery life. The battery life is going to be different because this uses a different battery. This uses the original battery for all the other Fujifilm cameras. So all the other Fujifilm cameras use the same NFP battery. NFP something, some numbers. So in the crop sensor Fujifilm system, that's the battery you're going to use unless you're using the XT4. So, and another thing, I have 3 Fujifilm cameras and I have about 12 batteries and they all go to those same 3 cameras. If I get an XT4, guess what? I got to buy a bunch of new batteries. So is it a financially viable option for me to get an XT4? Nah, I already have the S10 for video, I have this for video, and I have the XH1. The XH1 is basically like my backup camera when I'm doing well, video as well, but also that's what I use when I do weddings. I've got my XH1 on my right, I got my XT3 on my left. You see how I do that? Back to the subject at hand. Would I buy an XT3 instead of an XT4 if I had to choose between the two today? Yeah, I'd buy the XT3. Yeah, and a gimbal. Buy the XT3 and a gimbal, or buy the XT3 and an S10. It's probably about, gosh, the same price at this point. But I don't know, I mean, they're both really, really great. They're gonna take the same pictures. They all have the same amazing film simulations and the same Fuji colors, and you know, you can't go wrong with either one. If you have the money and you're more video centric, get the XT4. If you want to save the money, or if you're just more photography centric, or you're not even interested in video, or you just do a little bit of video here and there, get the XT3, save the money. It's the same sensor, it's the same mount, it's the same camera. There's so many similarities. So, you know, the only thing is maybe if you're doing photography, the IBIS might save you a little bit low light, but how much low light work are you going to be doing where you need to mitigate that much shake? If you have a tripod, you're going to be good. So that's my 2 cents. If you've got the money and you're more video centric, get the XT4. If you want to save the money, or if you're just photography based, get the XT3. Get a used one for pretty cheap. This is an amazing, amazing camera. I'll probably have this for another 4 or 5 years. I know there's a lot of new Fujifilm cameras coming out right now that have, or that are going to be coming out, that have like 40 megapixels and all that stuff like that. No one's going to notice the difference. Are they going to blow them up to the side of a building? You know, I've seen some people using, you know, the sensor that's in this. This is a 24 megapixel, and I've seen billboard size pictures from certain photographers, and they use this. It didn't matter whether there was some grain in the photo. We'll put it that way. So it really just depends. You know, do you need a GFX? Do you need a full frame? Some of that more shallow depth of field might be great, but that's when you just get the 56mm 1.2. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, comments, feelings, thoughts, or concerns, leave them in the subject, a comment thing below, and do that. And then don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. And I'm really happy to be back. Thank you guys. If you watch this video and you enjoy it, I'm really happy. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys later. Peace.